Good morning, India. Just wait for a while. I'll share the screen. I think mm, shared. Yeah, it's shared. Let me just come to the main point. Yeah. So today the topic that we have is food. Food is necessary for everyone for the survival of every human being on this planet. We eat something, we digest something, we get it out too. So today, what we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about the words which are related to the vocabulary of food topic. Sorry for that. Just wait. So food is necessary. Every plant, human beings, and all those creatures actually get some energy in the form of something, and that becomes a food. So without having eaten any food, one cannot survive for a long time. That is why, and even in a ELTS exam, the topic is quite congested one, I would say, because the questions will be about, like, for example, it comes in speaking exam, then it would be quite personal ones, like your choices about the food and whatsoever your likings are about the food. And they would pick up some like common questions too. Like your favorite cuisine, why is it so favorite? How do you keep up your good habits as far as your eating is concerned? Like your eating habits are to be explored. In case of speaking, it is personal. But when it comes to a general topic, like if you are getting the topic in your writing exam, your IELTS task 2, then you have to know a lot of words. I mean to say, your vocabulary has to be of ultimate level. So that is why I brought this particular lesson for you today, as we are already doing the series of topics related to the task 2 as well as your speaking exam. You can just shift them and adjust them accordingly your own choice. When you are framing questions related to your speaking, then just think of that there is also a part which you have to prepare, that is your lexical resource. So consider that for speaking as well as for your writing too. So here we are talking about only the vocabulary part. We are not talking about the questions. We are talking just about the words which are the part of, you know, food stuff. So we will see that one, how many words are there, and whatsoever words which are general one and important one to be covered. And I hope so that you would actually share this one with many of your friends who are preparing their exam. It can be helpful to them as well. mm, yeah, you can get the PDF of that one if you would suggest, or if you would insist me to do so, like I would be doing it in my description. I would be actually putting it in my description. A link would be there. But I guess if you will stick onto a topic one by one, it would be much better. Like one video per day, if you're gonna watch and you're gonna rehearse those words and try to just memorize those words as well as use them in your life, I think you can get better results. So without wasting any time, let's move on to talking about that. So what it says, like you can come across this topic in virtually any part of IELTS. So as I mentioned before, that you can see that in your speaking exam, you can see all such questions in your writing exam too. So even even in your listening, there can be a topic which would be about the taste related to that. And if you don't have the vocabulary related to that, you won't be able to understand some of the stuff which is written before you. And even in the reading exam, if there is any topic related to the food stuff, then you have to know some words, and those words must be the part of your active vocabulary, not the passive one. So you're often asked about food in the speaking part, where you might expect questions about your favorite type of meal. Dessert. It's not desert, it's dessert. So spellings are wrong. So I'm sorry for that. Yeah, a restaurant and or international custom according sorry around food, cooking and eating. In part third of the speaking section, you might be asked to talk about nutritional aspects. Nutritional aspects, it means to say that like carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, all such things which are required for your body to survive. All such questions can be there, like about your proper diet, relation between your proper diet and health. Then food is also a rather popular topic for writing task 2. So I told you that like in task 2 there would be a question which will be a generic question, and you have to understand that one, that how it can relate to different uh, kinds of people and genre of people. It's not only you. That means it is not personal when it is a case of the writing task 2. Here in task 2, you can expect to write in depth about the causes and the effects of the obesity. Obesity, we know that what is obesity, not obesity or something else. Obesity, when you like gaining a lot of fat. Okay, that's obesity. So if you have gained a lot of fat, then what are the effects of that? What are the causes of that? What are the reasons that why the people um, become obese, or like come to that particular situation, or like they they gain a lot of fat? Why do they get it? So without any further delay, let's start it. Like first word that's there, like that's like combination of two words, that is international cuisines. International cuisines, obviously, like not the national one but the international one, which are accepted not only like in particular country but all around the world. So all such cuisines, all such dishes would be called as international cuisines. Our globalized world is giving us unique opportunities, unique, special. Unique means special, unique opportunities to share various international cuisines, like which are accepted by different people, not only in your country but all around the world. So globalized. When it comes to globe means the world, like uh, the whole world. Next is like most modern age, modern large cities offer a wide variety of restaurants of particular cuisines. Italian. So what kind of cuisines we can call them? We can call them Indian cuisine. We can call them Italian cuisine. We can call them French cuisine, Chinese cuisine, or something like Chinese food stuff. When we say any foodstuffs to be of a category, we can say that it is Indian food, it is Italian food, it is French, it is Chinese, something like that. It's Thai. Do you like Thai or not? Simply we say that, like, do you like Chinese food, or simply do you like Chinese? Okay, so this is a way that you should actually differentiate between the different categories of international cuisines, international dishes. So even when you actually go to any superstore or real Canadian superstore or any kind of Walmart, any branch of them, then when you visit them, you're gonna see that there are some kind of postings over there, like before you enter into the lanes where you want to get your food stuff. That is written there: international cuisines or international food stuff, or like spreading and all those words. I think those words can give you like when you will visit such places, then these places can give you better vocabulary than only simply by just reading from the paper, or reading from a slide, or reading from a video. So I think visiting such places can actually make a great difference. So I would suggest you that once in a while, or just give a tour to that, or give a trip to that, like visit some places like such, where you can see some kind of postings, and where the food stuff, and where like all such things are indicated, and you will be able to actually enhance your vocabulary based upon that, I guess. So now, like, mm, yeah, in addition, it's popular topic in ELTS exam. For this reason, to score high, you have to develop vocabulary to speak about your diet and food preferences. I told you, the choice of yours, like your preference, like what do you prefer? You prefer coffee to tea, or what do you prefer? It depends upon your preference. It is equally important to use proper adjectives. So yeah, so here it comes like another thing which is very important. Like proper adjectives are required. Adjective is a word which describes something about a noun or a pronoun. Means to say that it adds some quality to the word which it is attached to. Like if I say a tall boy, so boy became important, or had gotten some quality, that is being tall. So when we add such words to describe someone's appearance, or someone's like features, then I think you are trying to add more of the description to them. So more you will describe, more will be your chances to get good score, because you are able to explain the things, and you are putting words before the person, and which actually is making the listener or the examiner to be able to make a picture in the mind, or imagine a picture in the mind, and what you are saying has a picture. That means what your words are, they will definitely have some meaning attached to that. So they will create a picture in the mind, and then definitely if they are able to do so easily, then you will get score easily. But if they are unable to create picture so easily, then that means making a graphics in the mind is what your talent is, like as a speaker. And even as a writer, when you are writing something down, then if the person is able to imagine everything what you're writing, then I think like you would score more. Yeah, so it is equally important to use proper adjective, provide examples. Yeah, adding examples is crucial. It's, I think, enormously important. Why it is important? Because putting forward an illustration is what we have learned from our childhood also. We are able to explain something at a different level when it comes to providing examples. So using the same kind of vocabulary, that can actually cause a problem for you. But if you are using varied vocabulary, or you're trying to actually put into use all kinds of words that you know, then I think you will be able to score better. Now, when it comes to like here is one thing which is actually opposing in the statement, but I warn you again not to memorize any sentence. So the person, or this particular PDF is actually telling us not to actually just memorize it, cram it. Cramming is always bad. I guess you can understand that why I say so, because yeah, you won't be doing it um, with intention. You would be trying to actually, like, it'll be quite artificial when it comes to memorizing something, right? You should not be artificial, you should be you. A real you can actually express better, I guess. If you have some problem with grammar, I think you will lose score in grammar, not in your all the parts. So if you are able to use different words, I guess you will get good score. Yeah, I love the simplicity of Italian food. So here you see that one of the example is given, that how a certain international cuisine is being added into.
Italian food with only a few ingredients, but of extraordinary quality. So, when to describe these food stuff and how to do them is also important. Like, we are using the word ingredients. We know that it is written at every on every like product that we buy from the marketplace. So that adds to the vocabulary of the food stuff. Like when we say that, when we buy something from the market, like we see that word, and that word usually used to be on the products of food, and even though it is also on other products too. Like, but when it comes to making of some food stuff, then definitely ingredients are written on only those things which are to be used in food products, like fresh tomatoes, basil leaves, I think basil stands for tulsi and all. So fresh tomatoes and basil, olive oil, and prosciutto di Parma are typical. So that's a typical word. I even don't know that. So Italian product, obviously. So Italian products, coriander, ginger, cardamom, and saffron are very typical flavors of Indian cuisine. So we know that. Okay. And coriander, we know that. Ginger, we know that. Cardamom and saffron, all of them we know very easily because they are from our region. So I usually order hot curries with lots of chilies. Now here somebody is trying to give his preference to the listener that whenever I go outside, whenever I go to a hotel or any kind of restaurant, I try to order hot curries with the lot of chili and a side of raita to cool down. So and adding flavor to that, like to for having something for the cooling down. There is a raita. So many Indian dishes are prepared with rice, vegetables, and seafood. So seafood is also the part of that. You see, now another term that comes into being is after the international cuisines is healthy food. We know a very common quote. Everybody know that, like, health is wealth. We know that our wealth is in our health. If we are healthy, we can actually earn more. But if we are earning more but we are not taking care of our health, then obviously, yeah, it can be hazardous. It can be risky. Like, you are thinking of money but you're not thinking of your own health. So healthy food is required for keeping yourself healthy or keeping yourself intact with the kind of conditions that you're living with. Nowadays, we often hear about the importance of maintaining balanced diet. Now, another term that comes into being, what is balanced and healthy diet? Like, diet, we know that what is diet. Diet is something that we eat, and whatsoever is a requirement of the food, like how many minerals, how many proteins, how many carbohydrates, fats, vitamins are required in our body. So accordingly, that we have to create a balanced diet. Balanced diet means, like, every day I have to intake that amount of calories, not more than that. So if I know that like how much of the eatables are to be taken in or should be eaten, then I think I can make myself very healthy. But if I will be worried about only, like, I'm hungry, I have to eat every time, every now and then I have to go to the kitchen and eat everything. So whatsoever I get it, like, I don't think so that's a good choice. Like, you are not taking care of yourself, you're just taking care of your taste buds. You're not taking care of your body, but you're taking care of only that taste bud that actually is your craving on the tongue. So I think that has to be taken care of. We Everyone should have a balanced diet every time, every now and then. If we say that, like, if a bodybuilder has a certain diet and if we are taking the intake of that, but we are not actually trying to do the exercise at the same time, then definitely there would be some kind of indigestion or some kind of problem that we will face as far as our bodies are concerned, because every person has a different tendency to eat something. um, like a bodybuilder would require some more food stuff, and even they are better at actually dieting, and they know that when to actually shed their fat and how to do that, they know it better. So balanced diet is required in such a case. It means that we need to think carefully what we eat and prefer nutrient dense food. Nutrient dense food means dense. We know that we have that term in geography, densely populated areas, like where here we are talking about nutrient dense, a food stuff which is filled with nutrients. So one should eat that kind of food stuff which is filled with the nutrients. So one should eat that. But what is food rich in nutrients? Nutrients are the basic substances, are those basic elements in the food that our body processes in order to function. That means, like if I do exercise, or I go for any kind of physical activity, I would be able to do it if I'm eating food in a proper way, or my diet is good one, and I know that like it's a healthy diet, it's my balanced diet, and I know that like how to control it. Then I think there is the case of you know like a good person, like a good physical activity is required for keeping yourself fit, and for good physical activity you require a healthy diet and a balanced diet. I mean to say, I'm trying to repeat those words so that you can understand that how to put into them put them into the sorry sentences. So try to just use them accordingly. Now, next is good nutrition. Good nutrition. Obviously, good is good, bad is bad. Good nutrition would be the nutrition or the kind of stuffs that are good one for your body. A well balanced diet combined with regular physical activity is a cornerstone. So that's also very beautiful word. Cornerstone of good health. That means that is the foundation of a good health. Like if you have a very good physical activity, regular physical activity with a balanced diet, and the combination of both actually works better. Like if you are having a balanced diet, and along with that, when you have the regular activity, regular physical activity, then regular physical activity is going to actually become a cherry on the cake, and it will give you a good health. That means ultimately it will result in providing you a very good health. Now, next is like whole grains. Like what are whole grains? Whole grains, whole grains are also the part of food. Then you should know that like basically when we actually try to go to the marketplace or any store, then there we see all such things like uh, usually the bread is made of the whole grains also, like whole bread we say. Whole grains are a trendy group of widely discussed ingredients. So whole grains, so let's discuss about them. Whole grain product, what it is. The official definition says that like whole grains, just a second, whole grains or food made of them contains all the essential parts which are required to be there, naturally occurring nutrients which are to be there naturally into the food stuff and we require for our body. Then if they are present there, then I think all such like whole grains can be important in such scenario. Like all nurturing nutrients are there present in that particular food stuff, then definitely whole grain is one of the stuff that can actually give you that entirely natural nutrient made food. Okay. Of the entire grain seed of the original proportion of their original proportion, how much of the stuff is required for like originally. So basically products made with the whole grain are as good as the original seeds. That means something which is made up of the whole grains is actually equal to the naturally raw seeds of the same. So I think that is I think to be known. Now, there are different terms related to the whole grain. What are those kind of grains that you can see in the market? They are also like available in the form of pouches, um, as well as even bags in sacks, like big sacks, and even also in the form of the pouches, small pouches, usually like that. Okay. So in small pouches like wild rice, barley, corn, millet, buckwheat, oats, all such, like we say that we need to put them into the water at night time and in the morning time if we want to eat them like as it is. That can be really good for our digestion as well as for our health too. So that is there, like if something is made up of corn also, like obviously the persons who are suffering from sugar, like they are told to actually avoid such things. But the people who are good in health, and definitely they can actually taste anything. But the thing is, all such are the varieties of the food grains. You should know about them, and otherwise search them on Google. So now thereafter, another term that comes into being is like fiber. What is fiber? Like fiber is very important term. Fiber, obviously, when we say thin threads or something like those can be fibers. Fiber is another important component of healthy diet. It's found in cereals, okay, and it is found in fruits and vegetables. Like if we talk about fruits, I think fibrous ones are like oranges or some other like juicy fruits where there are, like you can see fibers also. If we lose them, the fiber, then that is also a great concern that you should understand that it is also required for your digestive system. So all those vegetables, all those fruits and cereals which contain fiber are good for keeping our digestive system healthy. Digestive system, like, which helps in digesting the food. So the digestive system is something which helps us to digest the food properly, like what we say that making them into the form of small particles, or I would say that it's like cutting them down so that we can digest them, and it can excrete out from our body at the end of the day. Not at the end of the day, it can be in the early morning too. So uh, at the end of the day actually is a kind of thing, like ultimately it means to say. So there is another interesting expression often used by healthy food advocates: eat the rainbow. Now, what does it stand for? Eat the rainbow. It is a simple way to remind us that we need to consume more varieties of the vegetables of all colors. Eat the rainbow. Rainbow contains, different colors. So that is why, same way, all the vegetables which come in different colors, we need to consume or eat them all. Like it's not like one particular liking we have. I remember that during my childhood, I never liked Loki, and never liked something like bitter gourd. Also, I didn't like, but I used to eat everything now. I love to eat, sorry, everything now. I used to eat all of them in like what we say that I used to touch them, like my chapati used to kiss the vegetable like that, and I used to eat that one. That's it. Like same way, what we say, like brinjal and all. It was not my food stuff earlier, but now I eat every food product because obviously everything is good for your health when it comes to vegetation. So eat the rainbow always. Like eat the rainbow, that means eat every kind of vegetable, every color of like every vegetable which comes in different colors. So that's there. Next is eating disorder or unhealthy food. So earlier we talked about the healthy food, we talked about the balanced diet, we talked about fibrous food, or we talked about something which contains good elements or the things which are required for our body. But now we are talking about the eating disorder. Eating disorder means something which is not in organized form. So eating disorder can be obviously like when you are trying to get up at night and you're going through your cheat sheet and you're opening your fridge and you're trying to eat something which must not be eaten. Like at night time, you're getting up and you're eating something sweet or dessert or something like that. It can create a disorder in your body because your body doesn't require that one, but your taste buds require that. So that's why it's required that you should take care of yourself. And obviously if you're gonna consume a lot of sugar, then definitely obesity is ultimate result that you will see. So obesity is the first thing to mention here. Like why? Because obesity is the like eating disorder. So when you eat something in more quantity and eat something which is required in less quantity, so what comes as a result is obesity. So obesity is currently among the biggest health problem, I would say, and it gives rise to lots of other problems in your life. So it triggers various other diseases which combine kill millions of people every year. That means lots of people lose their life just because of this, just because of this particular obesity. So one should keep himself or herself fit. Mm, I remember like when I started doing exercise in my early childhood. I remember that in seventh standard, I started doing exercises, and my father told me that you should prepare for your army or your defense services. And I started going out. In the beginning, it was little tough for me. Like I used to run for about like 200 meters, and then I used to stop and walk, and then again 200 meters, then walk, but never stop. Like if you will stop and you will say that I'm perspiring, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, you're trying to give some excuse to yourself. I don't think so that that's the way that to keep yourself healthy. Keep walking, keep running, keep walking, keep running. I think ultimately it gave me a lot of strength. Then I prepared my exam for that too, though I did not clear that. I could not clear that, but still it made me habitual to keeping myself fit. I still try to give it a go whenever I get some free time here as well in Canada. So here even your activity, physical activity is too much. Like you walk a lot. Obviously, you to catch the buses, it requires a lot of strength. Thinking about the time and reaching on time. So like if the person is walking more here in Canada, the person can never be suffering from obesity. You won't be overweight. It depends upon like what kind of food stuff that you like intake. Now, what is overweight? And we're gonna talk about these terms. You know, adiposity, excessive weight. Excessive weight. Whenever you have excessive weight, you can say that obesity, overweight, adiposity. Um, then you can alternatively use these terms. So children become overweight and obese for a variety of reasons. What is the reason behind that? Like for example, in third part of your speaking exam, like your examiner asks you that what are the major reasons people gain a lot of weight, especially when it comes to children. So then you can start, like in my opinion, that children become overweight and they suffer from adiposity just because of the poor dietary habits modeled at home. Poor dietary, that means poor eating habits. So they are trying to actually alternatively use the words. So poor dietary habits modeled at home. Obviously, whatsoever is learned at home. Whatsoever parents are going to actually teach you, you're gonna follow that. Whatsoever diet they are going to give you, you're gonna follow that. And if they're going to actually discipline you while eating, then definitely you will be disciplined throughout your life. So lack of physical activity is also one of the concern that the people face. Just because of that, they suffer from obesity, overweight, and also unhealthy eating patterns. Like I told you, like getting up at night and eating something, or even when you have eaten curd, like for example, you have eaten yogurt, and then thereafter you think so that you can go for an ice cream. I don't think so that's a good match. So you have to see that what's a good match. Like if I'm going to eat something oily, and then thereafter at the same time I'm going to drink some water, so it can be, it can be dangerous. Like it can stick to your body, inner portions of the body, then definitely, yeah, it can be risky for your health. Now, then I mean to say that here they have given the example like how you have to actually explain. So simply without any kind of like phrases before or any kind of adverbials before, I don't recommend you to speak. But I would say that started with, like, in my opinion, if I will have to give my perspective about it, then say something and add more and more connectors into the statement. Simply just speaking statements, I don't think so that's a good thing. It doesn't make it natural, I guess. So simply it looks like you're writing an essay. For writing an essay it's fine, but for actually speaking it out, and even for writing an essay, I would recommend you that use more and more connectors. But still, it is fine for writing, but not for speaking. When you're speaking, you are trying to actually express your skills about speaking, and you're trying to tell that I know how to connect. So if you know how to connect, then try to express it through the words. That's it, as simple as that. Now, psychological disorders which obesity may trigger include depression, eating disorders, and low self-esteem. Now, what does it stand for? Depression. Depression is not some of anything on the globe. It's not depression as far as economy we are talking about. Here, depression is all about your psychological effect. Your like something psychological disorders obviously come as inferiority complex. Like when you are obese, when you are suffering from obesity, you will say that, like, I'm not eating from your house, I'm eating on my own, my parents are providing me, you are none to actually, comment on my obesity or comment on my physical appearance or something. So they suffer from depression. The people suffer from depression and eating disorders and low self-esteem. They think that we can't do like equally as a fit person can do. So that is also a major problem for lots of people. Now, there are some causes which actually give you excessive weight and obesity. Like, learn some specific vocabulary about that now. Poor dietary habits, like I told you earlier, and we have used that in the statement also. Poor dietary habits can be the main reasons, like how they are. And what is that? Offsprings of the obese parents are much more likely to become obese than offspring means like kids, the kids of the lean parents. Lean means like who keep themselves fit, who know that what is to be eaten and not to, like, it's like having an impression, like your parents are your reflection, or your kids are your reflection, I would say that. So what you what your parents would be, you would be the same. Yeah, like you will try to copy your dad, mom, like, as equally. Like, they cannot claim that you should keep yourself fit until or unless they themselves are keeping themselves fit. So we need to be a proper example for our kids, that keeping ourselves fit is going to make them fit too. So if you are active, your kids are going to be active. If you are very dull and lazy, and lethargic, then your kids are gonna follow the same pattern. Sometimes it depends upon, like, how which kind of activities your kids are indulging in. Now, secondly is the quality of the food we consume. If we eat the food stuff, like, uh, for decades, processed food, like processed, that means something which is not naturally made. Processed food has been getting cheaper, while fruits and vegetables have been getting more expensive. So that's why, actually, even in my diet, I used to eat a lot of food stuff which contains lots of fruits and vegetables, because I'm a vegetarian. I can't eat something like, and even that is also healthy. I must tell you that fish is very healthy. Fish is very healthy, but I can't eat that one. obviously some norms and conditions of my life. But the thing is, like, something which is healthy for you, I don't think so I would deny you to eat, and even I can't deny you to eat. So it's your choice, it's all your preference, I would say. But I suggest only, like, the people who are vegetarian, they have lots of options, but those options are expensive when it comes to the vegetables, when it comes to the food stuff, which is fruits. They are very expensive, and sometimes even, they become decayed easily if you don't take care of them, and if you don't eat them on time, they become decayed and you have to throw them out. Throw them out, and even you have spent a lot of dollars on them, and then at the end of the day, then you are throwing them out. It won't be the case, and you will try to find it out and search it out, like every single grape from the bunch of it, like, which one is good, which one is bad, and the good ones you're gonna eat, and which one are, stinky, very bad smell, or foul smell comes out of them, then you will throw them out. So it will be the wastage of money as well. So you have to take care of that too. Then thirdly, what is that addictive nature of the engineered food? So addictive nature of engineered food, like engineered foods are engineered just because they would look good to your tongue, or they would taste good to your tongue. So that's why nowadays the products are engineered to be cheap and last long for on the shelf. Like, people think that, like the chapatis which are half made or raw, which they can buy from the superstore, they are good for health, or even they can, make them at home later on. I don't think so that's a good option. Everything which is, like, which is made from raw stuff, I think that is much better, rather than actually something which is half prepared and half to be like, hash brownies we talk about. If we talk about hash brownies, then those are not the good stuffs. I would say I'm not actually against that one. Even I eat sometimes, but that's very rare. Like, I really hate to actually disclose something which I eat, because that's only, you know like, sometimes I eat all such stuff, and even for that one, like, I go for a walk after that. You always have to go for a walk when you eat something oily, and which is not good for your health. You have to detox that one. I mean to say that detoxification is required whensoever you're taking risks with your body. So I don't think so, like, it's a good option to go for, and even I would try to actually leave this habit too. Now, next is, like, lots of stuff, additional vocabulary. We will talk about food contents. So when you say food content as a word, that's very important. Food contents in your food. So whenever you are using the word food content in your writing, or even in your speaking, it looks like you are well known with the terms which are related to the food word, or the topic of the food. So food content would be like, what a food contain. So a food can contain fat, it can have oil, it can have protein, it can give you fiber, it can give you sugar, it can give you salt, it can be additives sorry additives. Additives means additive flavors or colors or something. So food adjectives. Now, like, what are the food adjectives, or like, some stuffs which are to be called as food adjectives. Like, we can say that syrupy would be having the appearance and the quality of a syrup, and thick and sweet, and that would be syrupy. Okay. Then sugary, that would be more like sugar. Okay. So that you have to take care of. I don't think so. I think we should avoid sugar. We should eat natural sugar. We should eat sugar which is present within the product. Okay. Then crispy, something which is crispy would be something which will give you a crisp feeling on your tongue, pleasantly thin, like, potato chips, pleasantly thin, dry, and easily broken, and you will have a crunchy sound. Having a pleasantly crisp outer layer. So crisp outer layer, that means it will have some kind of spices on them, and there would be a crispy sort of stuff on it.
Now taste we are talking about. Then next is like firstly we talked about syrupy, sugary, crispy. Now we are talking about bitter, something which is not good for, like, a medicine is not good, medicine is good for our health, and it is bitter. So something which is bitter and which is having a strong and unpleasant flavor, that is opposite of sweet, that would be obviously important. Bitter. And then is juicy. What is juicy? Juicy is something that contains a lot of juice. Okay, something that contains a lot of juice would be juicy. Okay, how to make adjectives, I mean to say that you should know that. Now juicy would be something that contains a lot of juice. And then sour would be something that have an acid taste. It means to say acidic in nature, like which will require a lot of, like, lemon is there, and you require a lot of, sometimes you have to eat gelatin to get rid of that acidic taste, and even that is required also sometimes. Sour things are like grapes are sour, you know grapes are sour, everybody know that, like, for many people grapes are sour. Then is jesty would be like jest or celebration of life, or something which is spicy flavor, having a strong, pleasant, and somewhat spicy flavor would be jesty, like something having a strong, pleasant which is good for you or celebratory to you, and something very spicy flavor. So that would be a jesty one. Chewy means chew, like something which is chewable, something requiring to use your teeth to cut food into small pieces. So before you swallow it. Now then is spicy. What is spicy? Spices flavored with or containing strong spices, and especially ones that cause a burning feeling in your mouth. So when there is burning feeling in your mouth, then definitely that is spicy. And there is a certain sound also. So then thereafter, pepper, black pepper, peppery, containing pepper or having the quality of the pepper. Okay. Then is ambrosial. Ambrosial means something extremely pleasant to the taste and smell. Like if something is like of good smell and aroma is good, fragrance, if we say that, not actually fragrance would be for the perfumes only, but ambrosial would be used for a food stuff which is good in taste and also in smell. Then is crunchy. I told you the word crunchy before, having a hard texture and making a loud sound when chewed and crushed, not softly or mushy. Okay. Then is delicious. What is delicious? Delicious is something which is pleasant to taste, which looks or which tastes good to you. That is delicious. Ice cream is delicious. Savory, having a pleasant taste and smell. That is savory. Unflavored would be the flavor additives. Without flavor additives, so unflavored, that means there is no flavor added to that. Now for the negative aspects, what are the different terms that we can use? There is allergy. What is allergy? Allergy means a medical condition that causes someone to become sick after eating, touching, or breathing. Like we have allergy is sometimes, you know some people do have allergy with ginger. If they put the ginger in the tea, then they itch a lot. So is as far as my problem or allergy is concerned, I don't have any allergy till now. But I think there can be some ingredients that I don't like, like cumin seeds, but they are used mostly in every kind of vegetable that we make.
So I don't like them. Anyone, I'm allergic to that. I don't like them. So now, next is intolerance. What is intolerance? Intolerance is something like exceptional sensitivity as to a drug, specifically like inability to properly metabolize or absorb a substance. When you don't have that ability to tolerate something, for your, like your tummy is unable to tolerate something, then you are intolerant to that. So your body is intolerant to that. You are unable to absorb that food stuff, so then that's intolerance. Bulimia, that's a new term. That's a new term for me too. I must tell you that bulimia is a serious physical and emotional illness. So that is bulimia, in which the people, especially young women, eat large amount of food. So when they eat large amount of food, that is bulimia, and emotional illness, just because of emotional illness, and causes themselves to vomit in order to not gain weight. So like it actually, results in vomiting, so puking out things. So have to be careful. Bulimia. Now next is anorexia. Anorexia means a serious physical and emotional illness in which the abnormal fear of being fat leads to very poor eating habits. People try to actually stop themselves from eating things. I don't stop myself, but it's like you should know that, like what quantity that you should eat. It's not like going like animals. I don't think so. Like if we should eat like animals, we should eat like we know that, what we require and what we don't. So one should not have that anorexia. Anorexia can be lactose intolerance. What is lactose intolerance? The state when the body cannot easily digest lactose, a natural sugar found in milk and dairy products. So some people do not have that ability to actually tolerate that lactose. Now, next is obesity. We have discussed a lot. I think we need not to discuss about it anymore. Now, next, addiction. What is addiction? Addiction is alcohol addiction. It can be bad addiction of anything like gambling. Gambling is also a bad thing. You should not do that. A strong and harmful need to regularly having something such as food or do something like gamble. Now, famine, like what is famine? A famine, is a condition, situation when in which people do not have enough food to eat. They won't get like the food just because the land has become infertile to give them, not actually the land has become infertile, but there is no food stuff available in the area where they're living. So that is that. Now we are talking about the cooking styles. Just a minute. Now we are talking about the cooking styles. To grill. What do you mean to grill? When we put something onto the grill or on the metal frame over the fire, like barbecue and all that stuff, that they contain grills. So when we put them onto the grills, so we are grilling it. So if you say I'm grilling chicken, you can say that. Put them onto the grill. Okay. To grill things. So it's in the form of the verb they are talking. To steam. Steam, that means putting some kind of steam into the thing that you're steaming. So to cook with steam, when you're cooking with steam, it becomes like more like, I would say that raw meat, but still it is eatable, and it becomes very soft. Things become very soft. We steam the potato before making some kind of food stuff with the potato, like if you want to make pakoras and all, so we need to steam them up. So then stir fry. What do you mean by stir fry? To fry quickly over heat, high heat, while stirring it constantly. Stirring means like you're trying to just circulate that one, or revolve it in the circular motion. So something to be in the circular motion, if you are stirring it, that is stirring constantly. So constantly, that means regularly, it means to say that without any stop or continuously doing it. To deep fry, that means to cook in a deep layer of oil. That is deep fry, that you're trying to just press it with some kind of, you know, utensil, and you're just like normal fries that we create, or that we make, sorry, make in India. They are deep fry usually. And if you're gonna use some, if you really want to test it out, then you can use some newspaper and just, you know, put the things or the fries into them and just rub them all. You will be able to know that like a lot of oil is there. So to boil, to cook in water, that is boiling, that is boil. So to broil means to cook by direct exposure to the radiant heat. That's broiling. Broiling straight to the heat. If we are putting it, like putting the stuff onto the stove, so that is broiling. To mince, mixing it up. To cut food into very small pieces and then mixing it up. Mincing small pieces. When we are cutting something into the small pieces, that is mincing actually. So to roast means to cook food with the dry heat in an oven or over a fire. So that is also like roasting, right? Roasting is also popular as far as YouTube is concerned. I have seen that. Not that much. Now, eating verbs. There are a lot of eating verbs also, like that we all should know, and even the kids should know. To bite means like one should not have big bites, should have small bites. We should nibble the stuff. To seize with teeth and jaws so as to eat something, that is to bite. Yeah, we can say that. To chew means to use your teeth to cut food into small pieces before you swallow it. Like before swallowing something like food stuff, then you have to have use your teeth to cut the food. That is chewing. So chewing gum is a word that came from it. To taste. To taste means to have a particular taste, to sense a flavor of something you eat, like that is to taste. Now to savor. What do you mean by savor? To enjoy this, like it is all about savory. Savory, that means which is good in smell and taste. To swallow. To swallow means like engulfing in. To take into your stomach through your mouth and throat, like down the throat. Now thereafter, to digest, to change food that you have eaten into the biological process into simpler forms, sorry, that can be used by the body, like so that they will turn into the small pieces into the protein, fiber, and all that stuff. you know indulge means to allow to have yourself to have or something as a special pleasure, to devour, to eat up greedily or ravenously. There is also a great variety of idioms which is related to the food vocabulary. Like we are talking about now the short list of the idioms which are related to that. You can use them in the speaking, but not in writing, I must tell you. To be dying of hunger. Dying of hunger, that means the people who are actually very hungry. For them, we can I'm dying of hungry. Sorry, I'm dying of hunger. I'm dying of hunger. I'm very hungry. It means that for very hungry, you have used a phrase that is dying of hunger. So aggression of so exaggeration. Sorry, yeah. What is going on? I'm not getting it. Maybe I'm tired. So exaggeration of saying that you are hungry. That means you're trying to use a kind of hyperbole here. Not the hyperbole which is not possible. You cannot die of hunger. Somehow, if you are unable to get it, you are in a desert. You are in a desert, and you are unable to find the food stuff, then you can die of hunger, or any person can die of hunger. I must tell you that. So to have a sweet tooth. to love sugary foods. Like when you are saying that sweet tooth, I have a sweet tooth. That means I like sugar. I like sugar products. I like sugar foods. Like whatsoever sugary foods are, I love all of them. So I like chocolates. I like candies. I like tea. I like something made from sugar. Like that's why I would say that I have a sweet tooth. Does he have the sweet tooth? So to take the biscuit refers to something very annoying or irritating, like biscuit from biscuit it is made. So to take the biscuit, that means taking somebody's biscuit or making it very annoying or irritating. So to know on which side your bread is buttered, like which side is buttered, to know where your interest lies. One should know where their bread is buttered. So one should know, like everyone should know about their interests, like where their interests lie. So that is also one of the way to say that. Now to take the bread out of the somebody's mouth, like somebody's portion, when you are trying to get, like to take away someone's means to earn a living. So when you're taking somebody's job and all that, that means you are taking the bread out of someone's mouth. Don't take bread out of someone's mouth. People think sometimes, like they are taking bread out of someone's mouth, maybe, or they don't know that their bread is also, is baked in the same oven. So yeah. Then thereafter, to butter someone up, to flatter, be very nice to someone, usually for selfish reasons. Like when you are trying to flatter somebody, that's not right. Like, don't butter me up. We say that. Many teachers used to say that, don't butter me up. I don't like that thing. Okay, piece of cake. Piece of cake stands for something very easy, something very convenient, like or something very easy to attain and easily achievable. That would be piece of cake. Now, then, like chalk and cheese, like completely different. So chalk is different from cheese, so that is why it is used for something which is completely different for that. Uh, the difference between him and his friend is like chalk and cheese. I think both are very different. We can say that way. They're chalk and cheese. It's like chalk and cheese. I would say that if somebody is trying to discuss about the taste of some smokes, or they're talking about the taste of some candies or some fries or some chips, then you can say that it's like chalk and cheese. You're talking about that is to be very similar? I don't think so, because it's like chalk and cheese. So there you can place them. Now, cry over the spilled milk, something which is gone, cannot be taken back. So get upset over something that cannot be changed. So something which is changed. You can't do anything in that. Bygone is bygone. We say that bygones are bygones. You cannot actually cry over something which is gone. So to cry over spilled milk is to cry over something which is gone already. So now that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way it is, and nothing can be done about it. That means you can't, when you are unable to change the things and you have to abide by something which is there before you, then there you say that's the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I can't change it. Means to say that, do know when you are unable to change something and you know that like now the thing's gonna be the same, there you can say that that's the way the cookie crumbles. Now next is tough cookie. Tough cookie is a very beautiful one. Tough cookie is a self-confident ambitious person who will do what is necessary to get what they want. Like somebody who knows that how to hustle and how to actually get ahead in life. That person can be called as a tough cookie. Okay. Now thereafter, then can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. Like nobody can make it. Like if you're gonna put the eggs into the in the frying pan, I don't think so. You will be able to do that. So obviously, without breaking it, it is impossible to make important changes without causing unpleasant effects. Like for the betterment of the people and for the betterment of your life, if you don't make some changes or amendments in your life, you won't be able to make any changes in your life. So that means you cannot make an omelette without breaking the egg. You have to do something. That means you have to bring some changes. When you know that something is not getting changed and you are not working on them, then obviously you are thinking like that to be to omelette to be made without even breaking the egg, so which is impossible stuff. You should know that. Now now the last idiom or last combination of words which you can actually use for your speaking: to eat humble pie. To eat humble pie, to be forced to admit that you did something wrong and apologize. To eat humble pie means like that's basically it for this delicious chapter. Okay, sorry, that's the ending statement. There is no example for that. I'm sorry for that. Like that's a cut one actually. For this one, to be forced to admit that, like here it is forcibly you need to admit that you did something wrong and apologize. So you have to be humble sometimes. Like for example, when you are not at mistake but you are forced to say that yeah, it's your mistake. So sometimes even your, the whole universe is actually conspire against you. So but maybe that conspiracy is made just to make you more stronger. Sorry, make you stronger, not more stronger, stronger. To make you stronger, and you do it. At the end of the day you do it, you say that yeah, it's okay, it's my mistake. That means you are eating a humble pie. It's like eating a humble pie. When you eat humble pie, you know that you are not at mistake, but you have to forcibly admit to yourself that I am at fault. You are forced to call yourself wrong when even you know that you are not wrong. That means you are eating a humble pie. Sometimes in life it is there, situations are there. Even I have faced in my life many a times. Even I, and now also I face a lot of problems like such. But I say one thing to myself: this is just temporary. Move ahead and move forward. Like the way that's in the video also we have heard, fall forward. So always fall forward. When you do mistakes, when you admit mistakes, when you know that you are wrong, you can be wrong, and it's human tendency to do mistakes, then you know that yeah, you can change yourself too. You can change yourself too, I must tell you. So there are different terms. What I feel is, what I can do is the next video or the next live session would be more about, I think, motivational stuff. And I would tell you that how actually to excel in your life, even when you are in your tatters. Okay, when you know that like everything is falling apart, you know uh, and still you believe that you can do well in your life. How can you do well? I would be telling you that too. So here is the end of the this chapter, like related to the food stuff. We read a lot of words, and I think even I revised a lot of words that I actually forgot, just because I stopped teaching in some schools or a like to the students. And I would actually make the declaration now also for you. Like if you are willing to actually join for the classes, especially for the speaking classes, let me know that in the comment section. And if you're willing enough to join in for the IELTS examination classes, let me know that too. So comment, and I will be in your contact too. So then I'll be sharing my contact, or maybe there is a contact that I've shared there too. So on my YouTube channel. So for now, it is time to say bye bye, and I hope you all will do well in your life, and keep upgrading your knowledge, and try to meet people, as many as people as possible, like whomsoever you meet, greet the person with a smile on your face, and always talk boldly. Never worry about what the people will say and how, like, if you're gonna actually bury your intentions, bury your um, feelings all the times, one day or the other day you're going to cry sitting on your bed. So it's, instead of sitting on your bed and cry over something, like uh, obviously your time would be wasted. I think it's much better to meet new people and meet the strangers and talk to them more and more. More you will talk, more will be your conversational skills, more you will be able to actually enhance yourself in life too, I must suggest you. So God bless you all. Take care. Bye bye for now. I have to uh, cut this.